Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo Karjalainen. You can call me this guy if that's tricky to pronounce. It's good to have you along. Today I'm taking a look at the Mooer Preamp Live, which I have on the floor on my pedal board right in front of me, and here's a picture of it. And I'm also going to be asking amps, do we need them anymore? So, well, I'll answer that question after the intro. Alright, so like I said, I'm taking a look at the Mooer Preamp Live, and I'm going to try to answer the question, do we still need amps? The answer probably won't be straightforward, but hey, we'll see. How am I going to do this? Well, there are plenty of demos on the Preamp Live, so I'm not going to go through all of the sounds. I'm basically just going to go through a couple, maybe three, and I'm running it straight into my mixer with the cab sim on, so it's if you don't know what it is, it's a preamp that has basically 12 different preamps, and it has a boost, and it has cab sim and all kinds of stuff, and it's fairly affordable. So in theory it should be a great kind of easy to set up preamp, so you can use at home and just plug straight into whatever you're using at home just to play. That's if it sounds any good. And so that's part one, where I'm just going to run it straight into the mixer. Then part two will be I'll run it into my Marshall, into the power amp, so that you can actually hear the difference between what it sounds like direct into the mixer and into a proper power amp and proper cabs mic'd up and all that, so you can hear that difference. And the third step will be that I'll actually capture the sound of my Marshall, because it has a tone capture feature as well, and see how that tone compares with the actual Marshall. So that's a lot of stuff in one video. I got this idea when I watched Paul Davids doing a video, Do We Still Need Amps?, where he demoed the Mooer, kind of demoed. He made some funny noises with it, and that's all well and good. It was a good video, but I thought I'd kind of give it a more kind of regular type use demo. So here goes. First sound. Just jump straight into. I'm going to do three sounds, I think. One is a clean sound and two different overdriven tones, and I won't do any speaking in between. And I'm going to use it with the boost and without the boost. So here goes. Here's a clean sound. Okay, so those were kind of the sounds straight out of the box. I haven't done too much to it. I added a bit of boost in one sound, and yeah, I haven't fiddled with the controls. All presence is straight in the middle, so it has a universal presence control. It has a master, it has an effects level. If you're using the loop, I wasn't using any effects. That's it straight out of the box, and it sounds quite good. Now, how does it sound when I plug it in to the Marshall? Just so that you have an easy point of reference, I'm just going to do it with one sound, the last sound that I was using, and I'll play a bit more and then cut to me playing through the Marshall so you get a clean A and B. So that was part one. I certainly have some thoughts already, but I'm not going to reveal them quite yet. Next up, I'm going to capture the sound of my Marshall and see how that sounds and compare it to the actual thing. So stick around, I'll be right back. Okay, now for the creme de la creme. Yes, indeed. I've tone matched the Mooer Preamp Live with my Marshall and my Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive, so I should get a fairly close tone match. Okay, so I won't walk you through the steps because there are other videos online for that, and if you have the unit, you have the manual which says how you do it. But in essence, you hook it up with a 4-cable method. I had a bit of trouble with this because the source signal was very quiet, whereas the Marshall was quite loud, and I couldn't rectify that in any way. I tried flipping the loop switch, the loop level, and got a hellish noise. Good I have my hearing left still. Anyway, this is the result. Here is the Marshall with the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive. As you can hear, it's fairly noisy. Yeah, here's the Marshall. the problems I had was that it makes this kind of a squealing noise. Not playing very loud, so it's not pickup squeal. I don't know what it is. But anyway, here's the tone matched signal. Anyway, that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in how it sounds when I hook it back into the mixer, so I'm not using the power amp of the Marshall. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here goes. Okay, so that was, in my opinion, not a 100% success. I guess I could do it better if I tone matched it again, and I could get closer. But here's the deal. What I basically want is this amp in that little box, and it doesn't quite deliver. It made the sound much closer than it was earlier, but it wasn't great. Okay? I'm a bit like, stupid, I don't know what I'm doing. So I might have done something a bit off, and it could probably have been better. But the other thing is that when I tried out the preamp straight into the mixer, it sounded a bit plasticky. I mean, it's fine, and I'd say it's great for demoing. It's great if you're on a budget and need a few different sounds and you have a bunch of pedals already, so you want to use it that way. It's great for that kind of stuff. For someone who has a very particular sound that they like and has the amp for it, the only thing this will do is it will get you closer to that sound in a more portable format, because who wants to carry these around if you can avoid it? But the sound is still a bit plasticky, and instantly when I hooked it up to the Marshall, it sounded so much better. But that's the problem. Voice crack. That's the problem. Why would you need that if you already have an amp? Other than if you want flexibility. If you want flexibility, it's actually quite good, because you can hook it up to something like this, which isn't very flexible at all, and you can get a few different types of sounds, which is great. So, do we still need amps? Well, we don't actually need amps. But in my case, and I know many of you will agree, nothing still beats an amp. I mean, this thing is good in many ways, but it doesn't really match the amp. It does give you flexibility. It does give you a good demoing platform at home, something that's portable and easy to use, but it doesn't give you the sound of a proper amp. And it's the same issue with something like the Fractal Audio Axe-Fx or a Kemper. I haven't used a Kemper, so maybe a Kemper can actually capture the proper sound, but I suspect it can't. But I know for a fact that my my Axe-Fx 2 gets very close. But when you play a while and you play this and the Axe-Fx and then this and then the Axe-Fx, at least I found was that I get annoyed with the Axe-Fx because it's not this. And this is where it's at for me. So, do we need amps? I do. You might not. If you're on a budget, this is a great thing. If you want flexibility, it's a great option. If you want portability, it's a good option. For me, no, I don't think so. But it might be for you. So, that's basically all I have for you today. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. And give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it. And let me know in the comments what you thought. If you're disappointed that I didn't show you how to tone match, you can watch Ola Englund doing it. He does a nice job of it, and he has a great channel. Watch Ola Englund. He has great stuff. And if you're interested in the Paul Davids video, I'll link that below, as well as Ola Englund's video, so you can check those out. And yeah, like I said, comment, let me know what you thought. And subscribe if you haven't already, hit that bell notification thing, and support me on Patreon. So that, because I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review. And my honest opinion of this is that it's very good in many ways, but it falls just short of the really important thing for me, is to have this sound in a portable box. And I know I'm picky, and some people will have a go at me. What do you think? I think it's $350 to $400. Do you expect a $400 modeling thing to do what your $2,000 Marshall valve amp does? No, I don't. But that's the thing. I just like these. So if you're on a budget, it's definitely something to check out. Durability and all that, I don't know, because it is very cheap. But that's all I have for you today. I'll end by noodling a bit with some sounds on the Mooer Preamp Live. I hope to see you in another one. Take care. Goodbye!